Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Dakota, also known as Coddle Guy, coming to you from HighGroundTV. I got an interview with a very special gentleman right here. This is Ben, or Officer Merlini Wu. Merlini, how you doing, man?
Very good, now that I'm in the presence of ever so graceful Coddle Guy. This guy's an actor, this guy's a caster, he can do everything.
This is not about me, though. This is going to be about you, but I do appreciate it. So let's start off with a little bit of a fun question here to begin, all right? People know you as kind of the face of Zeus, if you will, but we've seen Zeus only twice so far in TI, and it's a 0 and 2. I know personally I casted a game with Sing Sing repping Zeus in the mid lane. It kind of fell off, didn't work out. Why is it that Zeus is just not performing? Why is he not part of the meta? Why is he not the flavor of the month? Tell me, Merlini, what is it?
Teams don't practice with him enough.
You think that's what it is?
I think mostly, yeah. Every time I see him, I'm like, I don't really think so. In the era of really aggressive supports, he's really weak as a mid laner, and a lot of the time supports are either generally really tanky, like Brewmaster, Alchemist in this tournament, Razor, Viper, and a hero like Zeus, all he really has is like decent HP and a lot of damage. So I think that you have to have like aggressive supports of your own instead of having like defensive supports. You need to be able to put pressure on the other team. Also, he does work pretty well in global lineup. Spectre has kind of fallen off too. Nature's Prophet has made a slight resurgence, but he's not as popular as he was before. Things like this. AA was popular like 2 patches ago. So might not be his patch, but mostly I think it's just because teams don't know how to play him well.
So you think he has the potential to be really good and he's just not utilized? Do you think if he did need a change, though, what would that change be?
I personally don't like its attack animation, but he has Arc Lightning. I mean, it's just a numbers game, really, for everything about Zeus. Just like, you know, slight cooldown reduction, slight range improvements, cast point. So just something.
Just like a small tweak here and there.
That's pretty much just what Ice Frog does. He's like, hey, I'm gonna make it a little bit more attractive and appealing for you guys to pick the hero. And I think that eventually it'll just be like, boom, he's gonna be picked everywhere, just like Skywrath.
All right, I can't wait to see that. Let's talk about the prize pool. We just secured it now, 10.9 million. Big bucks right now happening. Do you think this is the peak right now? Do you think it's going to plateau? Do you think next year it's going to be double? Is it going to go down? What are your thoughts?
I think it's certainly going to go up. There's no good reason to think that it's going to go down. There's like not that many games that are in competition with Dota 2 right now. I guess there's League of Legends and maybe a Hearthstone, but as far as like competitive esports and growth, Dota 2 has no match, and it was only released to the public, a little bit before TI4 last year, and since then the player base has, I don't even know how many times it's multiplied by. The prize pool is like quintupled.
Yeah, well, something like 9 million concurrent players or something. It's out of control.
It's on the way up, and I don't have a good reason to think that it's going to decline.
All right, perfect. Do you want to make a prediction on if it does go up, what it would be next year?
Maybe like 13.5, 14.
13.5, 14, I think that seems pretty reasonable if it goes up, just a little bit extra something. Yeah. All right, so right now, happening, Vici Gaming going against Newbie. Vici Gaming got knocked out early into the losers bracket and battled their way all the way up into the grand finals. What would you say in a nutshell is their formula? What makes them so good to just take it to all these teams and upset the likes of like EG and etc.?
Their base sieging is on another level. Not only for T1s and T2s, but T3s especially. They do it early, they do it quick, and they hit the opponents where it's weakest. And they can identify like the, I don't know, you ever like watch like karate and stuff, and they're like, oh, your pressure point. They know the pressure points for each team.
They got the 1-inch punch?
Yeah, that's how they eliminate like EG in 2 games and just beat out DK, all these powerhouses that you wouldn't expect to go down.
Awesome. So, and then we'll talk about Newbie here. So Newbie, after just day number 1, and I guess coming off of a total of 5 best-of-3s, all the way into the grand final after day 1. Now that kind of format, some people say it's a bit anticlimactic, it's a bit unusual, they want more hype, they'd like to have it not just on the first day. Did you have any thoughts?
I think the only reason that it's not that much hype is because people don't actually like Newbie that much. I think they're a difficult team to sympathize with, mostly because none of them speak English.
Yeah, so they also have a weird stigma amongst a lot of people, and so yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, it's alienating half the viewer base. I don't know what percentage of English speakers are, but it's very, very high. And I mean, there were a decent amount of Tong Fu fans last year, so I'm surprised that they haven't transferred over to Newbie.
A lot of people love their USA over here, but as you can see in the series happening right now, they definitely can back it up. They're really good. So
they can back it up. They can dance. They can get down.
They can back it up. They can back it up. They can drop it. So All-Star match happened a couple of days back. Techies debuted.
Yes.
Big deal. Big thing. I know you're a fan of Techies. Now, realistically though, do you think we'll ever see Techies used competitively?
Not in a competitive game. you have to like out mind game to other opponents. That's why people like don't actually like playing versus techies. It's just like if you try to kill him, he just suicides and wastes a ton of your time, and you might actually die in the process. And you always have to like outthink your opponents with the minds too. That's why I like them. Like crappy techies, they just like suicide all day, whatever. But the good ones, they'll just like make you consider like every fog spot, blind spot, rune spot, push you think to go to. They're like, oh man, there could be mines there, and it just completely ruins your psychology.
What do you think about Arteezy's techies?
It's a suicide build. Not a fan.
I'm more of a fan of getting the stasis early personally, but all right, fair enough. So, okay, Officer Wu, who's your deputy?
My deputy?
Yeah.
My girlfriend. She like lays down the law.
All right, fair enough, but then who's your captain?
Captain? My brother. Anytime I have to get places, he like ushers me around. People often mistake him for me, and then I just like kind of scurry off towards the background.
Do you do anything for yourself?
I try to.
Did you dress yourself? It's a nice shirt.
Sometimes I feed myself.
Okay.
Sometimes I dress myself. Sometimes I play Dota by myself. Usually I try and get someone else to play for me, though.
All right, fair enough. So to finish it out, we probably got a couple of games left before it's all said and done. Are we going to see a Coddle?
Not from these two teams, unfortunately. I think it's more of a Western play style thing.
I'm extremely depressed about that. Bolt, Ben, Merlini Wu, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I definitely appreciate it. I'm Coddle Guy. Ben Merlini Wu, you can find him over at Twitter, at Merlini Dota, myself, at Coddle Guy. This is HighGround.tv. Please be sure to go check it out for more content to come. We have more interviews, more content coming your way. Thanks again so much. Take care, okay?